Hey, Yankees fans, buckle up because things are getting seriously intense in New York right now. The team finds itself in a position that feels almost inevitable. They're poised to secure a spot in the wild card, and honestly, it would be shocking if they didn't. At this point, the only real question isn't whether they make the playoffs, but rather how far they can push past that initial game. The American League East has always been stacked, but this season, it's turning into one of those nail-biting races where every single game could make or break the playoff picture. Right now, the Toronto Blue Jays are leading the division, and they're no easy opponents. The Yankees are breathing down their necks, though. And while the Boston Red Sox are still in the mix, it increasingly looks like the Yankees and Red Sox might be heading toward a high-stakes showdown in a three-game wild-card series. There's a lot that could change, but at this precise moment, that's the landscape. Recent projections have really highlighted how strong the Yankees are in terms of playoff potential. Between the AL East and the AL Central, the teams with the highest odds to make a deep postseason run are clearly shaping the narrative. The Blue Jays are all but guaranteed a playoff berth, while the Yankees sit just behind them with an almost perfect percentage. The Red Sox are still hanging in there, but their odds are slipping. It's clear that if the Yankees want to overtake Toronto and claim the division crown, they're going to need a serious push, a streak that includes taking down the Blue Jays more than a few times. And yet, when you look at the bigger picture, New York still holds the highest World Series odds in the American League, which says a lot about the team's overall talent and depth. Even considering teams out west, like the Astros and Mariners, the Yankees remain a top contender. That combination of resilience, talent, and opportunity is exactly what makes this stage of the season so electrifying. Looking at the recent stretch of games, the Yankees have been riding a wave of momentum. In their last 10 outings, they've won 7, while the Blue Jays have managed an even split. That performance has allowed New York to edge ahead of Boston in the wild card standings, reclaiming a lead they had lost earlier in the season. But while that was an important first step, the bigger prize, the division title, remains tantalizingly close. Securing first place in the AL East isn't just about bragging rights. It comes with a significant playoff advantage, including a first-round bye and the opportunity to avoid back-to-back series against tough divisional rivals. Right now, if the Yankees advance past the wild card, they would most likely face Boston in that initial series. Winning that matchup is crucial because it sets up a potential clash with Toronto in the next round. Strategically, navigating this path is all about minimizing risk while maximizing the chances to advance deeper into the postseason, and every game counts. One of the biggest storylines heading into these crucial weeks is the Yankees' performance against the Red Sox. Historically, this has been a challenging matchup for New York, and the numbers this season reflect that reality. The Yankees won the opening game of the season against Boston, a contest that set an exciting tone for the summer. But overall, their record against the Red Sox has been far from dominant. With just 2 wins out of 10 matchups, any postseason series against Boston will demand their very best. Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and potentially a third starter like Luis Healer or Cam Schlittler will need to deliver exceptional performances to neutralize Boston's strengths. This makes the starting rotation a key focal point, as early victories in a 3-game series can dramatically shift the balance of momentum. Every pitch, every at-bat, and every defensive play becomes magnified in importance when the stakes are this high. Beyond the pitching, there's the looming question of Aaron Judge and his role in the lineup. Judge's elbow injury in July threw the Yankees into a period of uncertainty, as his limited time in the outfield created challenges for lineup flexibility. His return to right field has been tentative, sparking widespread discussion among fans and analysts about the best way to protect his bat while still maximizing his impact on the team. Comparisons to other players who've undergone Tommy John surgery illustrate the potential for adaptation. Judge could be moved to first base to preserve his health while remaining a formidable offensive threat. Balancing his defensive assignments with the rest of the roster, including players like Giancarlo Stanton and Ben Rice, has become a strategic puzzle that could have lasting implications for both the short-term postseason push and long-term planning. The Yankees' outfield situation is also evolving with the infusion of younger talent. Cody Bellinger's retention and the development of prospects like Spencer Jones provide the team with a blend of experience and youthful energy. Placing Bellinger in center, Jones in right, and a player like Dominguez in left could create a dynamic outfield, allowing Judge to focus on first base while still contributing as a designated hitter. This approach not only protects one of the game's premier hitters, but also injects new speed and athleticism into the outfield, giving the team flexibility and depth at a critical juncture. It also affects future first base plans and diminishes the urgency of relying on international prospects like Munetaka Murakami. The Yankees are clearly thinking several steps ahead, balancing immediate postseason goals with longer-term roster stability. Judge's elbow remains a central talking point, with fans closely watching his throws and questioning whether he's fully recovered. While he's still a dominant presence at the plate, his defensive limitations underscore the need for careful management. Preserving his health is paramount, especially considering the Yankees' reliance on his bat to drive runs and anchor the lineup. This situation highlights the broader strategic challenge the team faces: how to leverage their top talent without compromising performance or risking further injury. Every decision, from field positioning to batting order, carries weight, and the Yankees' management and coaching staff are navigating these choices with intense scrutiny from fans and media alike. Despite the concerns, Judge continues to be the frontrunner for the American League Most Valuable Player award. His season stats: 7.5 WAR, 43 home runs, 321 batting average, an OPS of 1.99, and an OPS plus of 202, reflect a player at the top of his game. He's driving the Yankees' offense while also shaping how the team approaches defensive assignments. Even with questions about his health, his value to the team and the league cannot be overstated. The balance between preserving him and maximizing team performance is a delicate dance, but one that will likely define the Yankees' postseason strategy. Every angle of the Yankees' season is interconnected right now. The pursuit of the division title, the wild card positioning, the pitching rotation, the outfield configurations, and the management of Aaron Judge's role all converge to create a high-stakes environment where every choice matters. Momentum, timing, and execution are all critical as the team approaches the playoffs, and fans are closely monitoring each development. Whether it's strategic adjustments on the field or managing player health, the decisions made in the coming weeks could determine how deep the Yankees go and whether their World Series aspirations remain alive. The combination of talent, strategy, and circumstance makes this one of the most compelling stretches in recent Yankees history, and every game feels like it could be a turning point in their season. Now, as the Yankees gear up for the final stretch, the intensity only ramps up. Every game is magnified. Every inning feels like a mini playoff series, and the pressure on both the roster and the coaching staff is enormous. The way New York navigates these last crucial weeks will define their season and potentially set the tone for years to come. When you consider the American League East, it's impossible not to feel the weight of the competition. The Blue Jays have been consistent, and their depth is a constant threat, especially with their bullpen and lineup capable of changing a game in just a few swings. Beating Toronto more than once in the remaining schedule will be no small feat, but if the Yankees can manage it, the payoff is enormous. Not only would they be in prime position to claim the division title, but the psychological edge of overtaking a team like the Blue Jays could energize the locker room in ways that extend well into the postseason. At the same time, the Red Sox are a persistent variable. While their chances to win the division are slim, their presence in the wild card mix means that New York cannot afford to underestimate any matchup against them. The fact that the Yankees have struggled historically against Boston this year adds a layer of complexity. 2 wins out of 10 games against a team that's going to show up with everything on the line is hardly a margin that inspires confidence. Yet that is where strategy, pitching, and timely hitting become crucial. Max Fried and Carlos Rodon, 2 of the most reliable arms in the rotation, will need to deliver performances that limit Boston's big hitters, while the supporting pitchers must hold their own to prevent momentum swings that could shift the series in an instant. Every pitch counts, and every error, or lack thereof, could define whether New York advances or finds its postseason hopes cut short. Meanwhile, Aaron Judge's situation continues to dominate the narrative. The Yankees have done everything they can to balance his health with the team's need for production. But the reality is that managing an elite player coming off an elbow injury is never straightforward. Moving him to first base allows the team to maintain his offensive output while minimizing risk, but it also introduces new dynamics for both the infield and lineup construction. Giancarlo Stanton, who has his own defensive considerations, and Ben Rice behind the plate offer additional flexibility, but the coaching staff must orchestrate it carefully. These are not trivial decisions. They impact lineup balance, defensive coverage, and even how opposing teams plan their pitching. Every adjustment has a ripple effect, and in a tight playoff race, those ripples are magnified exponentially. The infusion of young talent adds another layer to the equation. Cody Bellinger's ability to anchor center field, Spencer Jones stepping into right, and Dominguez patrolling left provides energy, speed, and versatility. It also allows Judge to focus on what he does best at the plate while preserving him for the long haul. The combination of seasoned veterans and emerging talent creates a unique balance, one that could be the key to navigating a potentially grueling postseason. The Yankees are in a fortunate position where they can field a lineup capable of both offensive explosions and strategic defensive plays, which is exactly the type of balance a championship-caliber team needs. Pitching depth remains a cornerstone of their potential success. Beyond the top arms, the bullpen must be able to absorb pressure in high-leverage situations. The Yankees have historically relied on a combination of veteran experience and young arms stepping up when the spotlight is brightest. In the playoffs, the margin for error is razor-thin, and the difference between victory and defeat often comes down to a single inning. The ability to mix rotations, deploy relievers effectively, and manage workloads without compromising performance will be one of the defining challenges for the coaching staff. Strategic decisions here are as critical as any bat swing or defensive play, and history shows that teams that excel in these areas often emerge stronger than those relying solely on star power. As the postseason approaches, the mental aspect cannot be understated. The Yankees are no strangers to pressure, but every series, every matchup brings its own psychological test. Facing Boston or Toronto in high-stakes games demands not just physical readiness, but mental toughness. The ability to maintain focus, stay composed under pressure, and execute fundamentals perfectly can tilt the scale dramatically. This is where leadership, both on the field and in the clubhouse, becomes vital. Players like Judge and Stanton set the tone, but the collective mindset of the entire roster will ultimately determine whether New York can convert opportunity into success. The final stretch of games will test every aspect of this team. Their ability to execute offensively, manage injuries, rotate pitchers effectively, and maintain mental toughness will all converge in the coming weeks. Every victory, every close call, and every clutch moment will add to the narrative of whether this Yankees team can turn potential into reality. Fans are on edge because the team is so close to a breakthrough, yet the margin for error is slim. This is the kind of pressure cooker environment that defines legends, and the Yankees are squarely in that spotlight. And even with all the challenges, there's reason for optimism. The talent on this roster is undeniable, the depth is impressive, and the strategic flexibility is evident. While questions remain, especially around matchups with Boston, potential series against Toronto, and Aaron Judge's role, there's no doubt that the Yankees have all the pieces to make a serious run. The coming weeks will reveal how effectively they can leverage these assets, and fans can expect a roller coaster of tension, excitement, and high-stakes drama. Every swing, every pitch, and every defensive play matters more than ever, and the team's ability to respond to pressure will define whether this season is remembered for triumph or what-if scenarios. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Rumors are swirling across baseball circles that could shake the MLB to its core. The New York Yankees are reportedly closing in on a deal to acquire Shohei Ohtani, the two-way superstar from the Los Angeles Angels. If true, This move would instantly transform the Yankees lineup into a juggernaut unlike anything the league has ever seen. Sources close to the situation hint that negotiations have been intense, with front office executives working tirelessly to bring Ohtani to the Bronx. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders suggest the Yankees are willing to pull out all the stops, including a blockbuster trade package and massive contract extension, to land the player who has redefined what it means to be a two-way threat in modern baseball. Fans and analysts alike are already speculating about the havoc this pairing could wreak. Imagine Ohtani's unmatched pitching prowess, coupled with the Yankees' already formidable offensive core. Suddenly, every game becomes a must-watch event, as opposing pitchers would face the nightmare of trying to contain arguably the most dynamic hitter in the sport today. The mere thought has sent shockwaves through social media, with hashtags like #OhtaniToYankees trending nationwide. The Yankees have long been known for assembling star-studded rosters, but adding Ohtani would elevate them to a level of dominance rarely seen in MLB history. Speculation suggests that the team envisions him not just as a hitter, but as a centerpiece of a fearsome lineup capable of rewriting records. Imagine the iconic Yankee Stadium packed to capacity, the crowd roaring as Ohtani steps up to the plate, while pitchers across the league dread facing him not only on the mound but also at the dish. Critics and skeptics are debating the potential risks, salary cap implications, clubhouse chemistry, and the possibility of overloading a roster. Yet the buzz around Ohtani's rumored arrival has generated excitement that overshadows any doubts. Baseball insiders describe the Yankees' rumored strategy as all-in, a calculated gamble designed to create the most feared offense in modern baseball. As the MLB world watches with bated breath, one thing is certain. If the whispers are true, the Yankees are about to become a nightmare for every pitcher in the league. Shohei Ohtani to New York isn't just a trade. It's a seismic shift in baseball power, a storyline straight out of a blockbuster movie. And while the deal remains unofficial, the rumor mill is already running wild, predicting a new era of Yankees baseball, one where hitting, pitching, and sheer star power collide like never before. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.